What's going on, everybody? SSK here today. Hope y'all having a good day. And today I'm coming with another Tokon video for you guys. And this one is going to be, you know, it's
a little controversial.
controversial, as you all may know. And some of you all, of course, have seen the title and the thumbnail of this video. Y'all know what y'all getting into. There's been a lot of uproar from social media as this past weekend with the Marvel Tokon Beta. And there's a lot to talk about here. But before I provide context as to everything, I would like to put a disclaimer for everybody watching the video. In this video, there will be opinions that you may or may not agree with. I personally like the game. I have a few issues with the game, but for the most part, I like where it's at. If they keep it this way, I'm gonna keep playing it. That being said, in this channel, I am more than willing to talk to people and have discussions with people who may not have the same opinions as me, because at the end of the day, while I might like something, I'm also somebody who wants people to voice their concerns for the game, because their concerns for the game I don't have an issue with. If they added a lot of what people's feedback are for this game, I would still love the game. I would love new additions for the game. So, with that said, I would please, wherever this video is going to be posted at, whether it's going to be on Reddit and on here, show some respect for my colleagues here, whoever I would interview, including Kev right here, and make this a very friendly environment. We can talk in the comment section. We can have a discussion about things. That's what this is about, especially if the developers are watching. This is something the developers can watch to be able to grasp our thoughts. That being said, lots to talk about here, but the main thing that's been going around with Tokon is essentially how the assists work in the game. A lot of people have had issues with the auto combos in the game, and there's been a lot of other issues people had as well, but it seems that the main concern with Tokon, I believe, is the how the assists work in the game. So to clarify to some people who might not know Tokon much, or people who don't really know what's going on, Marvel Tokon has 3 assists that you can use. It's a 4v4 game, but it's 3 assists. Technically 4 if you count the point character. But for the most part, you could say it's 4 assists. The 3 assists though are mainly the 3 assists. The first assist is the ground assist, which is essentially your projectile assist, your long range strike, whatever you want to call it. It's essentially the move you use to be able to control the ground very well. The second assist you have is the anti-air assist. Pretty self-explanatory. If somebody's in the air, you can call that assist out to hit people out of the air. And finally, the unique assist is the ability to use your characters, that characters in that slot, their best special move or whatever. And with that said, those are the 3 assists for Tokon. Now, there are also, on top of that, 2 extra assists that define the game as well. There is an assist that happens when you jump in the air, meaning that when you jump in the air and you call an assist, you will only get an air assist. These are also sort of like the ground assist, except they're being done in the air. A long range strike, whatever you want to call it. And then also you have the combo or pressure assist that happens when you make contact with the opponent. This assist is the main one that will happen if you do a combo on the opponent's body or whatever. You do like a pressure on the opponent's string. And if you call an assist, like I said, it comes out, right? So in a total, you have 5 assist types in the game. Usually in other 5?
16 assists total.
16 assists total.
I actually did the math on this last night as I was writing my script. So
really?
It's 4 characters. If you just go by the directionals, 3 times 4 is 12, plus the area ones is 4. There's only 1 each. So 4 and 12 is 16.
16?
16 assists total.
Because I'm thinking from a perspective of like, you have the anti-air strike, the anti-air unique assist, and the ground assist, and then the jump is
3. 1, 2, 3. 1 in the air is 4. And if you factor in using all 4 characters.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah. That's wild. Because the main thing is that in other 3v3 games and other tag games, what's up?
20.
Oh god.
Okay. I did an extra 4 because of the lariat.
Yeah, because the main thing I wanted to point out is that in other 3v3 games and team games, it's generally just 3 assists that you have per character. No matter what the situation is, no matter what happens, anytime you call that assist out in any situation where you're blocking or whether you're you whatever, right? It comes out. And you know, in Tokon, you have this strike assist that everybody doesn't really like, right? They have this ability to continue your pressure and continue your combos. But I think from what I've been seeing a lot of people talk about on social media, and what I've been seeing is that they don't like that they can't use the unique assist or the anti assist or the projectile assist, shooter assist in combos or pressure. They don't like that you can, at least at a basic level, because there are ways to use unique assists and anti assists and jump assists and stuff like that even through combos, because there are certain situations that you can use that, like I said, with the range tech that we talked about a while back. There are ways you can maneuver around this, but the beta doesn't have a training mode, so a lot of people don't have the ability to lab out those certain situations that they can use those things for to be able to unlock the game further for people. But you know, even then, people don't really feel like at a base level you can use those assists within combos and pressure. And the reality is that people feel like you're restricted to using one type of assist whenever you're doing pressure or combos, and it makes people feel like you're limited to only using the strike assist during pressure and combos, rather than being able to use like a unique assist. And so, I wanted to hear your thoughts on that, on the whole situation with assists that people are having, and in terms of what are you overall thinking? What's your headspace on that? What's going on? Like, I think people need to know what's going on.
All right, so let me open with this first and foremost, because I think if I don't, there's a possible chance I get flamed. But what needs to be understood here in particular is, first off, I was brought in by ArcSys, Marvel, and Sony to test the game at Evo. Like, and I'm grateful for that opportunity. Trust you guys. It meant a lot to me because that was a really big opportunity for me. And having the ability to not only test the game, but also give my feedback in real time was also important. And I feel like from that beta build and playing it throughout all of Evo, still giving feedback about certain aspects of the game. Then we get into first beta, feedback forums, same thing. I believe I did a video talking about what I think needs to be changed as well. If not, I'm sure I think I just mostly talked with you about it in your video about it. And I'm pretty sure I had something I put out. Sorry, it's been a minute, you guys. But fast forward to now, we're finally able to play Ghost Rider and, you know, what's it called? Ghost Rider and Spider-Man. And the only major change I can tell was just the assist stuff in terms of like quick tagging. So yes, the major notion is the rush assist or the lariat assist being your primary assist at this point in time. I don't think it's very difficult to grasp that in a game like this, where it's advertised as a 4-on-4 fighter, you're naturally assuming in your head there's assists, and there are assists. Rotating between the characters, if you so choose, is a thing. If you want to play one character, that's a thing. Now, when you get to combat and you start building into your assists, because that's part of the game, the requirement is to screen transition them, wall break them, whatever it is, hit them against the wall, and now you can get your new character. Okay, that rule is set in place. We understand that rule. The problem is, once you build into your team, you get your team, the only way to use the assist that you worked hard to get is in neutral. Meanwhile, the remainder, when you finally make contact, is the lariat assist. At that point, one would have to ask, if I have Star-Lord in the back, he's the last character I got, and I wanted to use the grenade assist, or better yet, we'll use Doom. Doom's my favorite, right? I put Doom in the back. He's the last character I get. I'm like, yeah, man, I finally got the tracking beam assist. All right, let's go. And you can't utilize the tracking beam assist outside of neutral. That hinders the creativity of the game. And I think this is the part that people are kind of losing the mark on. Part of when you start up a block string is to call your assists at different timings and at unique intervals to help create unique pressure. As of right now, the game is essentially light, start off your auto combo because you get an extra normal, medium, down, medium, heavy, because you can't do down heavy because it's a launcher and your launcher is just most likely going to miss because of the pushback. At this stage in the game, because you have 4 different intervals where you can call your assist, it's very prevalent in other tag fighters when you want to press the assist to get that one, you know? So like if you had, say, I think Ghost Rider's anti assist is amazing.
Oh,
it would be cool to be able to call that assist during a block string. What Tokon tells you is you need to be a complete neutral state, or at least not pressing a button, to be able to call that assist. That is not good. It defeats the purpose of working hard to get that character in that character slot, to be able to utilize the assists that you've been practicing with. And in this case, since we can't practice, we won't know how to use the assists in pressure without, shout out to Ringe with the Ringe tech. Everyone's talked about it. We already aware. You use your character, you active switch, and then while they're blocking the lariat assist, now you can do the neutral assist, which isn't still, in my opinion, it requires a whole nother prerequisite, a whole nother technique first. What if you don't want to play those characters? Now you're forcing the players to go from playing the one character that you said that we can play to now we're forced to play this other character just to do this part of the game. That defeats the purpose of being like, well, I only want to build a team around Star-Lord. Well, if you want to use the other assist in a block screen, you need to do it like this. So the trepidation a lot of people like myself are having is that, at least for me in particular, being someone who was there front line, really hyped for the game, super going crazy for it, and also giving feedback at the same time, it means that much more to me. That doesn't mean that no one else matters. That's not what I'm saying. It means that much more to me as someone who doesn't gain that many opportunities, who worked with the company, to be like, hey, dude, like really, like this is great, but let's consider this. Not because my goal is to change the way of their design philosophy. No, it is because I would rather people feel upset now than feel upset on launch. Because on launch, if people feel this way still, is the game still going to sell? Yes, of course. It's a Marvel title. Of course it's going to sell. But because there are two sides of the coin, there are people who are like, leave it the way it is. It shouldn't be like Marvel versus Capcom. No one's asking for that. None of us that have the cause for concern are asking for Marvel versus Capcom. We're asking ArcSys to take the shackles off. Because this is a title in which it's supposed to appeal to a lot of people, but the problem is sometimes a game for everyone could also be a game for no one. And that's kind of tough if you want to get technical.
You're trying to please everybody, and it's hard to please everybody at the end of the day. It's impossible, really.
Right. So I respect the effort being put in. And again, another reason why it means a lot to me also is because, I've said it plenty of times. Like, I know Pachi personally. He's your battle designer. He's a Guilty Gear player. I've known Pachi since 2008. Here we're in 2025. You know what I mean? Like, I have legit ties with him. Like, legit. So I don't want to see. Since he's a friend of mine, it means that much more to see him succeed in this project. It'd be different if I didn't have that tie. I'm different from everyone else, you know, and I have a lot of like love for Arc System Works. Even though I might not play Strive, I still support Guilty Gear and say go play it. It might not be for me. And maybe with me saying this statement too, it could be like, well, it's just maybe it's just not for you. No, that's not the case. If that was the case, I wouldn't be brought in to ask about my expertise about their titles. You see what I'm saying? Therein lies the difference. It'd be one thing if I was just some other, you know, random Joe content creator just talking at the side of their cheeks. That's not the case. So the fact that my expertise in Arc System Works games was asked for here is why my critique is important. And not just mine, everyone else's. So, swinging it back, when we look at the assist and how everything is working, you don't want to put the players in a position where they have to, you don't want to can the experience. It's going to feel fun now, but I'm afraid of a Sparking Zero situation where everyone's like, yo, leave the power levels with the characters the same. And then they get that. And then it's like, well, we didn't mean it like that. We mean it like this. It's very difficult to like discern what, like developers, especially artists, have already come out and say multiple times, it's very difficult to discern which way to go when fans say one thing and then say the next, and or say one thing and then when they get the thing, then they switch up. Because this is the fastest switch up I've ever seen for a single fighting game, especially for Arceus.
Yeah.
Like
I've never seen this before. Like I told, yeah. Like I said, I didn't even see this with Strive. Like I think Strive obviously, like it had like people being like the typical, you know, well, like, you know, new game, OGs kind of whatever. But it you know, I at least felt like for the most part, all of the betas people pretty much enjoyed for Strive. It wasn't really like it wasn't really too crazy of like an uproar in terms of a social media presence. During the pandemic, like it genuinely, especially at that time when the pandemic, when Strive was really the only thing people really had to play that was like the new hotness, rollback netcode, right? Everybody was stuck in their houses, so it was a little different. You know, even with Strive, we didn't see this, but Tokon is the first time I think we're seeing this happen. And, you know, perhaps I think this is because the reality is this is arguably Arc System Works' biggest title they ever made. I would say bigger than FighterZ, because you're dealing with an IP that
you're dealing with Marvel.
You're dealing with Marvel.
It's Marvel.
You're dealing with an IP that, quite frankly, is older than any of us right now, with a long-lasting appeal. And you know, and I think it also comes down to, you know, Invincible Versus and Avatar Beta coming out recently, and 2SKO having a, you know, very good presence right now. I think a lot of people understandably are comparing it to other to Tokon right now, to other fighting games, because they see how other tag games are being played right now and the success of them, and including Avatar as well. I'm a big Avatar fan, and I love that Avatar. I love that people are really, you know, like going to bat for Avatar right now. I mean, that everybody says it's a Flash game, but that game looks sick. You know,
that game is fire.
Fire.
That game is fire.
And you know, I think it's and this is why I wanted to have this conversation, because I think it's important for people to have conversations about things that they love, to see them succeed. And you know, I think Tokon is in a situation right now where there's a lot to be learned here from the developers, right? We're not sure what the release date is, but I'm sure it's far enough to where some changes can be made still, and a possible delay could happen maybe. But I don't know. Sony is usually pretty strict about like keeping things like in a specific time, and that's probably the unfortunate part. Yeah, and that's probably the unfortunate part, is that like it's probably coming soon. Maybe I'm personally thinking maybe in April, release May, depending on the situation. Game Awards is this week, so we'll just have to see if they show anything off. But you know, I think for me, you know, I think for me, what I want the most for this game is for the conversations around it to be healthy. I think that we're living in a pretty good time for fighting games right now. And I think that like you know, there's much to be had. There's too many options, you know. Not even just new games. You can play older games if something doesn't resonate with you today. And I think that like as somebody who is a Granblue player and plays Tokon, especially then this is just me talking. I think that like what I like about Tokon is the simplicity. I like that the game, in terms of the foundation as a base,
Agreed.
I think Tokon has something on its hands here in terms of being an innovative fighter that tries to bring in different people. I think the concept of the 1v1 game of assists in general is genius. I think it's very innovative for this genre because I think that it allows people who are into 1v1 games to try out this game even though it's an assist fighter. And I think it's genius. And I think it really, you could do a lot with that. And I think even with this idea, you could still not make people feel limited with their assists, right? Because even if we would like I said, we would say it's a 1v1 game with an assist, you could still treat it like a 1v1 game. You don't have to learn any other characters. You could just use their assists because they're pretty cool, right? I mean, like, it's the same concept in Marvel 2, where it's like some people don't even use certain characters on their teams. Like Captain Commando is just used solely for his assists. It could be the same concept in this game where you just use characters solely for their assists in certain situations because they're just very strong. And I think that's really just what it boils down to, you know, is that like I want to see them open up the game in offense and neutral as well, because I think that the jump assist limits the ability to use those unique assists and the unique assist and the anti assist and ground assist neutral, because I feel like in these kinds of games you're jumping a lot, you know, you're not always on the ground. And I think that like, you know, being able to at least remove that jump assist and allow people to use all of those assists within neutral would at least make the game great from a neutral perspective, because you could at least because you could at least like be able to set things up with those assists in neutral,
because it feels like at that regard, right? What ends up happening is like you get a game where
nice.
Oof. Anyway,
we'll cut that out.
No problem. You get a game where the neutral interactions are very important. And then the fact that I have to stay on the ground to call the assist first, I'm gonna just be real. There's too many tells, right? It's like part of fighting games is to disguise your intent. If I call my assist first on the ground and then jump, I've already given away the intention. I already intend to approach. Now the next step is, well, how is he going to approach? So you've jumped. Let's say you did Doom Beam, and let's say you're like just beyond half screen, roughly 3/4 of screen. The Doom Beams already did what it needed to do. Now you get to do something, but like you're so far away, it's not meaningful. As opposed to dash, jump, assist. Now Doom's beaming while you're already leaving the ground. These things are what makes these interactions or these thought processes, these moments are what make fighting games. Being able to master your decision. Now you see it, okay, well, he jumped. Does that mean I'm gonna go low? Does that mean I'm gonna air dash? Does that mean I'm gonna double jump? Am I like, you've already opened up a lot of doors by forcing them to block Doom's assist while you're jumping. Why take this away and make it and can it? You see what I'm saying? So at that stage in the game, now you got to use even slower assists. So now I'm going to use, I've built into my team, and now I'm going to use Iron Man. All right, Iron Man, horizontal hidden missiles, but I had to stay on the ground. So I'm going to run at you first, blatantly run at you, while you have your assist that can come out and hit me. Or as you just learned recently, how crazy Cap Shield is when you jump and you throw it.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I'm going to call my unique assist while running at you, body block, and then still have my assist get hit by Cap Shield because Vibranium. And there goes that interaction. Now you stopped all of that in one fell swoop, and you can still call your assist. So certain characters end up having it a bit better in that regard. If you consider like, I don't know, I don't even know who to choose in this scenario, but like the point of the matter is not everyone has it that good in neutral. Storm has it really good in neutral. Spider-Man has it really good in neutral. It's when you consider all these things that are prerequisites prior to, then they're able to call assists, which I should also mention you can't even call assists when you're doing special moves in neutral, you guys. That severely limits coverage for your character. It also changed, like, I want to really stress this in this video with USSK that, like, what's not being understood, and you know this as a high level player yourself, timing means a lot.
Yes.
And the fact that you have to do it, call your assist earlier, adjust your timing, it adjusts how you approach. It also can hinder your approach. So if you can't do special move then assist or special move plus assist, you kind of see where I'm going with this. Like, it really changes the dynamic of where you utilize your assist, because it's either before or after. Like you have to be clear of any action. Your character can only move.
Mm-hmm.
Jumping eliminates the grounded assist, so you're forced to stay on the ground. So you're forcing a Marvel game to be 10 times more grounded than it normally is. Is that bad? No. But just don't make the jump feel worse because the air assist. Like my point character is already covering this area. Let my ground assist cover this area, or whatever area you want it to cover. So again, Star-Lord grenade, he has to wind it up and throw it. That move is like 80 frames. Cool. Now the grenades finally come out. Cool. But I had to stay on the ground to utilize that. I had to stay full screen in a specific way first, which leads me to my next part, zoning. I think zoning in the game is good, but part of the issue I have with zoning is gaining your assist. If you're zoning, you can't gain your assist, because the only way to gain your assist from a full screen confirm, your opponent's back needs to be on the wall. And when you say you do Doom Beam into laser, you do Doom Beam into gun, they need to be exactly against the wall. Any small smidget away from the wall, you can't wall break them from a full screen. Same with Iron Man. I tested this with Edo last night, actually, just to be certain. I even tested it on stream as well. I was like, yeah, if the opponent's back is not exactly on the wall, any corner pocket that can be jumped into, just the slightest pixel forward will not. Even though it triggers a wall bounce, after they get hit, it will not wall break or wall splat at all. So if you're starting with Doom, that's why it feels bad to play Doom on point, because point Doom needs to fight. And the only way to really play Doom to zone, build your whole team first, then play Doom. You can't like opening with Doom is it. Let me make this clear for those, because there's gonna be someone in the comments. But I play Doom on point and I did just fine. Okay, understood. This isn't to say you can't do it. I'm saying as you climb the ladder and get better at the game and play better players, starting Doom might not be efficient.
Yeah. There's always gonna be like levels of strategy at different plays.
Right. Like if you consider, like, trust me, you guys, after playing Spider-Man and playing Doom myself and knowing where Doom's weaknesses are, Doom can get ran over at the start. If your defense isn't good, Doom can just get ran over at the start. So like he's a character which I think you should open with something first and then go in and build the rest of the team for him. So at that point you could play a two-man team, which is why I think Star-Lord Doom is good, because those two play back and forth from each other with the rest of their assists. So they work that well together. With that being said, still the notion remains is like the zoner characters will not gain their assist, because if you haven't zoned them to the corner, you're not gonna get it.
Mm-hmm.
You're just not. And
like you have to be aggressive, or you have to like.
And to make matters worse, You're probably gonna drop this before I do, before I put mine out. But regardless, the game also has something Fighters has. It has, I think Granblue also has it too, where there's jump startup, where you can get hit out of your jump startup.
Mm-hmm.
In this game, I think the jump startup frames are about 5. So what that entails is when you're playing characters like Doom, zoning is actually really good because you can snipe their pre-jump frames, and you can, if you're good enough, you can snipe it with the beam and then super on reaction.
Oh yes, I love that.
So that's the only other way you can take advantage of the zoning full screen. Even Iron Man, your unit beam, or you got hit, cool, super unit beam. But again, if the wall isn't next to them, if their back is not next to the wall, you're not going to get the assist. Which means if you open with any of these zoning characters, you could probably open with Iron Man and do okay because I think he does really good going back and forth between zoning and being aggressive. The game is still, this is what I'm also saying, the game is still telling you, hey dude, if you want this, you kind of need to go forward, because the only other way you're going to get your assist is to break that wall.
Yeah. Now,
You need to take
granted,
transition or wall slam.
with zoning, just to clarify for people, with zoning, you also shouldn't just stand there. Zoning, the whole concept of zoning is to zone them to the corner.
Right.
So it's like, you obviously, as you're doing your zoning, you need to make sure you push them there. But mind you, when you start the match, you only have your 1 assist at the start. So you have to really make sure in this game that you have to use that assist wisely. And also, because you don't have your super at the start, you still have to kind of, do some hit and run tactics in terms of like doing like you want to run in, do a frame trap, do some stagger pressure. You can get a hit, build up the meter for your super, and then you can go back to zoning to the corner. And whenever you get like a hit from your projectiles, you can go into your super attack. That's why most characters who zone have like long range super attacks, because they, I guess, want people to be able to hit confirm from those kind of longer distances. Like Iron Man, he could do that into a super. Yeah. Doom could do it into a super. Star-Lord can do it into a super. Yeah. Heck, even like Cap can like do it into a super too. That's one of the things I will say I like about the game is that you can hit confirm into those situations very well. But again, if you want those extra assists, you gotta push them away. You gotta get out of your comfort zone sometimes. Yeah.
You have to.
You have to.
You have to. I think maybe they could add another way to get assists for zoners, because I think that wasn't taken into consideration. Because I think there needs to be at least one other way.
I was just thinking about this yesterday about how like maybe a lot of the game could be fixed or like at least like settled for at least for a bit if they changed the way how you unlock assists. Originally, I had just thought maybe we should just have all of these assists at the start, like a regular tag game, But then I was like, I respect the idea of wanting to unlock assists to get stronger, to build a meter. It's just I think that like some characters maybe could benefit a bit more from having those like some assists on board.
That right there is part of why they did this in the first place. Like, and this stems back to something you said earlier about cap assist, which I'll get into real quick. Essentially, like if they do it this way, or if they go back to the old traditional way of having a full team at the start, then you're just gonna get meta teams, like outright. They're okay. It seems like they're okay with the meta team being a thing, but if you're gonna have it, build into it.
Yeah,
okay, fair.
Earn it.
I also understand the notion of, and I said this before, that they want it to where like while there will be meta teams, there'll also be meta openers, but that won't discourage you from playing what you want.
Right.
I think they don't want players to be like, okay, here's Dante, Doom, Zero, here's Zero May Cry, here's MSP, here's MSS, here's and you're gonna sit there and play your Jill Mingo Sun, and you're just gonna get cooked, because if Magneto snaps you, like bye your anti-air assist, and now you're playing a 2-on-2 just from the opening gambit. So they don't want the opening gambit to be too crazy while retaining some kind of craziness, right? Going back to the other thing you mentioned about having the really good assist, I think that's inevitable. I think as long as they're going to keep introducing characters, and from the first 6 or so, I think most could say Iron Man's unique assist was one of the best. Doom's unique assist was clearly one of the best. Star-Lord up there too. Anti-air assist, clearly it's just not Storm, but Kamala. I think Miss Marvel had the best anti-air assist.
Oh yeah.
Iron Man's is pretty good. Cap's is pretty good. But again, like nothing messing with Kamala because of how much range and how much horizontal she covers in comparison to how narrow these two dudes are. And now Robbie covers the same thing Kamala does because I mean Robbie's anti-assist is easily top one out of the current 8.
He's got some of the best assists in the game, to be
And there you have it.
honest.
Now, if you ask me, between who am I saying? What am I kidding? They're all good. So some people, like, I think from some people I thought either was you or what's it called? I saw the flame carpet being used a lot as an assist. I'm like, yo, this assist is wild. What
Oh
the
yeah.
hell?
Like for covering like tech rolls, yeah.
Exactly.
I literally just use it to cover tech rolls.
Right. I liked his anti-air assist, and then some other. I think I watched Max's stream, and some people were using it as the projectile one. I'm like, oh man, Ghost Rider's assists are clearly some of the best. And it's like, you want those, and it's inevitable that like Robbie might end up being on a lot of teams on launch because they see what it's capable of. So even if you didn't play him, they're already setting the game up to be in a fashion where you can have one character and just have a lot of badass assists. At that stage in the game, I say again, it is like this is the part where they can't avoid it. It's a team game. You can't avoid it. In team games, you cannot avoid like the anchor assist or anchor things, or it could be a team game. Like look at Marvel Rivals. The same assists, not the same assists, the same supports get used a lot, and they work with every team comp, and it's for a good reason. It's because it's a safety net for the team. This is the same case. This is just a fighting game. So because these characters support your main initiative, the main goal of your team, the main goal of your playstyle, it's going to be difficult to like police that. What are you going to do? Well, we're going to take away Robbie's unique assist and give him fire breath. No, no, leave the flame carpet. The amount of people that's going to be upset. Like, what are you going to change it to? Oh, we're going to do the chain spin. Well, the flame carpet was better. You see? So it's like you're never going to avoid the issue of meta assist because the meta assists are going to help even the weaker characters.
Yeah.
So let's say down the road, Kamala ends up being weak, Storm ends up being weak, but Storm, Kamala, whatever character plus Robbie's flame carpet assist turns Miss Marvel in from a low tier character to a top tier character. At that point, you're now building different shells for different teams, which now adds the depth of the game. But if you don't open up the assists and they're all just hilarious, you cannot see that depth. You're just going to see the same. And that's kind of the big crux of this, you guys, is like they have to consider this part. And it means so much to the game. I understand the notion of like watching people like myself or anyone else who was playing it, or any content creator for that matter, who have, strong opinions about the game. Understand, this isn't from a place of like hatred. Like we want it to succeed.
Mm-mm.
Like especially like me, Max, Justin, anyone else who was in there who've had words for us. Like we want to see it succeed, but the developer has to understand that like fighting games just as well as we do as players. We're not game devs and we know that, right? But we also know what's fun. And we know fun is first and foremost when it comes to these titles, any fighting game. It'll eventually get to the competitive, right? But like the base game needs to be fun. And what's concerning, you guys, like in the grand scheme of things, is like what I don't want to see is this game be like Dragon Ball FighterZ and become the game it needs to become at season 3. Because by season 3, they'll be like, oh, we finally made it to where you can use all of your assists. We added more assists. You can now use your assists during block strings the way you wanted to. No, do that from the start. Don't make us wait for that. That is not a feature. Like that's not a new feature that a player should wait for 3 years in. If the goal was to hook us with characters, it's Marvel. You already got us there. From a gameplay standpoint, and that's what happened with FighterZ. FighterZ season 1, okay, it's fun, but it's a little bland. Season 2, lots more sauce, lots more cool things, lots more cool adjustments, but it suffered through a bad meta with GT Goku. Then you go to season 3, everyone has 3 assists. It's a lot more crazier. Characters have more cool stuff they can do. It's no longer a canned game. this is why it's concerning, because you guys have gone through this with Bandai Namco with fighters. You also went through this with BB Tag.
And even
You have
Granblue to an
two,
extent.
and even GB. So it's like you have roughly 3 games you've gone through where you've done these things. It's time to not be afraid to take the shackles off. I watched the developer trailer last night like 2 times, and hearing them say things like, Arxis is known for the crazy this and crazy that and crazy this and this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, the craziness, yes, keep that. Don't shackle yourselves. And maybe it's the powers that be that's above them that has them trying to, maybe they see it. Yeah, can the game. Like, maybe they see the success of Strive and they're like, well, it's lightning in a bottle. We can recreate that with this game. Just follow the same formula. And it's like, that game is a product of its time. When I say that, you guys, it's like the only game on the market at that time that's new gen, PS5 exclusive. Well, it's PS5, PS4, right? But rollback netcode, except SSK said it earlier. Like, it came out during the pandemic, and that's the most important part. There was nothing else out at that time. So of course it's gonna like look,
Nobody liked Street Fighter V at the time. Everybody was just wanted to play a new fighting game because that was
right.
around the time when a new era of fighting games had to be out. So when Strive came out, I mean, it was just like, oh yeah, everybody was so open minded to playing a new game.
And we're at a point now. It didn't say Strive wasn't successful. It was successful given the time frame and where it was. Fast forward to now with Tokon, they have the ability to make this game be as crazy as they want. Probably. Right? Probably. Within reason, of course. Holding back and restricting the players for onboarding at this point isn't good. I'm not saying this as a high level player, as a player that just plays. No, like, I'm watching people who are not competitive players. I don't like using the word casual, but for the sake of casuals, who are like even bored of watching this game as it is. I mean, I'm a streamer. Like, I'm hearing people say it. I'm seeing it in other streams. I'm not saying that the game doesn't have a fun factor, but I can guarantee you it's going to get boring fast. And that's not what I want. I think for a Marvel fighting game, it should feel exciting. There should constantly be room for exploration. And I think already within the first beta, a lot of people were already seeing this might just be it. Even with the Ringe tech, that's probably like the next step of the game, right? That's probably the next step. But even in this one, now that you have 2 or 3 times more people playing at this time in comparison to the first, it still begets the question, what's left? If the thing that's left is adding the characters and still the combo structure is still ABC, launch, ABC, spike, assist, ABC, special move, super, if this is the structure of the game, that's concerning. that's just concerning. It isn't to say that combos won't get crazy, but like, just without the addition of the assist that you build into, the combos are gonna be canned. It's always gonna be ABC. All right, doing punch him, tumble, blah blah blah, pick up another character, tumble, and you're just gonna be doing that as combos. Is that exciting? Honestly, no. Is it cool to do your combos in that fashion? Maybe, maybe not. But don't. In this instance, it's not healthy to can the players into this. If you were gonna say the first assist that you did was the lariat, all right, fine, you got it. But if I press down and I want to see Robbie do that twirl, I need to see Robbie do that twirl. Because at that point, I've used 2 assists to keep you in block stun. I don't have access to the counter breaker or the counter to the alpha counter. All right, fine. But that leads me into that system too, where like, it's weird to me that you have a game with complicated systems, but what feels at the moment like somewhat bare bones gameplay. Like, you didn't give us jump cancels. All right, fine. So we can't jump cancel to bait the counter. All right, cool. You didn't give us this freedom here either. All right, fine. But adding an extra tag button, there's no burst. You have to just it burst on block with your counter, or if they leave a gap, you mash the what was it, the light plus assist button
Yeah.
for the dodge attack thingy. It's like, well, all right, you just want us to do this. That's our defense. Other than maybe fuzzy jumps, the usual stuff. I- Is this really okay? Like, people already don't like stagger pressure. I don't even know where to go with it. I don't even know where to go with it from here. It's
Yeah.
just the foundation's there.
Yeah.
Their hearts are in the right direction. Even in its current state, just opening up the ability to call the assist the way you want would just. I mean, I think if you hit neutral and assist, the lariat is fine. But if you hit the directional at the like one or the other, either when you press neutral assist, you get the lariat. But if you press the directional, you get the right ones. You'll get the beam, you'll get the anti-air or the unique.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, because
I think that's okay.
Yeah, that would be said because I actually think the layered assist is cool. It's just I think it's cool to have it there. I think it'll be great to have the other ones too.
Yeah, like for anyone watching, it's like this isn't asking for Marvel versus Capcom. This is just saying let us use what we built into.
Yeah.
Like again, if you built your team around Doctor Doom, if you were just that guy, like Doom is my character, and you built into Doom stuff, and all Doom gets is lariat assist for like attacking. I mean, at that point now, what are you gonna do past that? That's what it was. What are you gonna do past that? Because without the wall splat, which speaking of which, that's the next thing I want to get into real fast. Stage selection and wall. There's no reason in competitive for anyone to pick anything but the expansion. No reason. There's no reason to pick anything but expansion. No reason. Savage Land, too many transitions. Too many transitions.
Yeah.
It's cool, but it gets tired quick.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, like I think I think if the whole game was like 3 stages with some stages being 1 stage, that would be cool. That would be something that's like, all right, cool. You go ahead and if you get the stage and you at least just like I think three parts of the stage is like pretty like solid. I feel like I feel like that was a decent middle ground. But like Savage Land, after playing that in the beta, I was like, man, it's taking forever sometimes, especially if both players are like good and like the same level and stuff. Like it'd be kind of hard to like get each other to the walls eventually. And I feel like that's why I feel like 3 stages is a decent middle ground because you know it makes things a little bit quicker at least. And X Mansion is just so perfect because it's like you don't got to worry about like any walls. You don't even got to worry about just pushing somebody to the other part of the stage. You just deal with a wall splat, and that's just kind of it. I know I know that Arc System Works is gonna make people do random though at tournaments. For sure.
They're gonna have to because counterpick is gonna be X Mansion every time.
Yeah, counterpick is gonna be it. Because that's the thing. Like I don't even think it would be a situation where it's like FD and Smash. Like it would just be they would just do that. They did put a poll up to see what stages people really liked in Tokon. So I'm sure most people picked X Mansion. So we'll see what they do with that if they include more. Just 1 stage and however way they do it. But all that being said, man, like talking about this, we talked a lot about like what we failed and what are the problems we have with the game at the moment, things that we feel like could be fixed. What are some solutions to what you think could be done to help fix the game?
Let us use assist. Start there. Just start there. Like, start there.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't want to add jump cancels on block, that's fine. Let us use assist when using special moves. Take away the air assist. I just don't see a purpose of 2 characters covering 1 angle, like, or covering the same spot. Just open the door for the assist. maybe be a little bit kinder to the combo meter. Like,
Mm.
I think solo combos should feel good if you don't have an assist. I think right now the solo combos, I won't say they're sauceless. It just feels like they end really quickly.
Yeah, very much like a light medium launcher or light medium heavy launcher. Boom, boom, boom in the air, calling assist on the ground. Hit it again in the air, calling assist on the ground. Light medium super, maybe something like that. Kind of what that
Yeah.
boils down to. Some characters are a little bit creative, like I know Storm. I know like Cap and Storm, and have and Spider Man has some like creative stuff that they could do too with some combos in some situations as well. But like I said, we don't have a training mode, so we can't like in a beta. Of course, everybody is just gonna be like, you know what? Let me just do ABC special move, and as we call it today. Like that's what I've been doing purposely. But that's the thing. Like we don't have a training mode, so it's like.
And from there, just opening up assist will change the game a lot. Removing the air assist will change a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Auto combo tracking got to go. They have to stop that. I think removing the tracking, like if someone matches auto combo and you jump over them, the second part shouldn't track you the other way. Or if a weird interaction happens where the auto combo is going one way but the opponent's facing the other, it should not track them. Like if you whiffed it, you whiffed it. Like if you're, and for the love of God, just if it's gonna stay, I think one or two things need to happen. Not just reducing the auto combo tracking, but I think they should completely remove the ability to mash it out. Like by that
Oh,
I
I
mean like
see.
I like no
Like if
follow
it
up.
mashes on whiff, you can't keep doing it over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I get why they did it. It's like, well, if you mash, you should get punished. That's the theory. But the problem with that is like because the auto combos, a lot of the second hits of the auto combos hit very mid high. That's an issue. They practically can anti air. I also think they probably won't do it, but I think the buttons, while big, need to reduce their hitboxes. Some of those hitboxes on those moves are just like out of this world. They're not even boxes. They're like spheres. Like,
Yeah.
and I think that's kind of it's unfair because it doesn't reward or encourage precision. I'm not saying every character's button needs to be a razor sharp move, but like reduce the hitboxes on them just a little bit because it feels kind of unbecoming to watch someone mash an auto combo. And I was watching Maximilian play last night and on over the weekend too in particular. And he said the same thing I said. Like, there's no reason to not mash your auto combo on Oki. There's no reason to not mash auto combo when you're getting up. In neutral, there's no reason to not mash it because it's a forward advancing second hit. So if it's a forward advancing second hit that has potential to anti or catch your opponent, and just like in Dragon Ball, if that one hits you in particular, the second hit, the damage is similar to Dragon Ball. It goes higher because you didn't start with the. If you start, for those that don't know, if you auto combo with your light and you start with the light, the damage output's actually lower. If you hit with the second one, it functions like Dragon Ball FighterZ, where the damage now treats it. The game treats the second hit as like a medium starter. Therefore, oh, you got hit by that? Great. Now I do medium, whatever, launch, whatever, assist, whatever, back into the ABC loop, like combo loop at that point. And it's a lot of damage. So it's kind of unfair. I think that part's unfair. Also, speaking of auto combo mash on wake up, the tech roll system, I'm sorry, but I think they
Yeah.
should just straight up pull this from 2x KO. If you roll and you throw it, it's a punish. Because right now the invincibility frames is way too much in a game where like it's already chaotic and there's no like they want more moment to moment interactions, but wake up button is going to be way more scrambly. So if this stage in the game, if you're telling me I need to use my assist to discourage that, okay, maybe so. But if I've already used my assist for my combos, I'm not gonna have those. So we're back to square one with the assist on top of this. You see how like each thing also kind of leads back to the assist. So it's just layered issues. So I think having the ability to at least throw the tech roll as a guaranteed punish will make people think a little bit more about like getting up instead of like, okay, I'm just gonna mash or roll forward and mash or air tech and mash. Just
Like timing is very like hard to mediate, right? When they're coming up.
yep. And I mean, there's points in the game where like when you get the knockdown, because you did it to me in our set, where like you backdash either early or late, and then it's basically a mix up. You don't know what side you're gonna be on because you backdash and they rolled.
Yeah.
You could roll into them on the forward side, you could roll them into the back side, and you just pressing jab is like it's a 50-50.
Yeah.
So while I'm cool with that part, like I think to mitigate a lot of the guesswork, because you're not really rewarding the player for knocking them down anyway. So if I react to you tech rolling, let me throw you at least to guarantee that you decide to not go away, because the game has next to no hard knockdown situations. There's no hard knockdown. So you're encouraging the game to be scrambly with no like there should be at least one thing that gives you a hard knockdown. Right now there's nothing. Except for the wall splat. The wall splat gives you a hard knockdown.
Yeah, if you let them on the wall, if you let them slide on the wall. Everything goes to soft.
That's like the only situation where you get like an Oki, like a real Oki. So again, why X Mansion is an important stage, you guys, because you don't have to worry about stage transition. All right, you're back on your feet. Cool. Like it's just a game where it doesn't give you any advantages. Like you don't really gain advantage. So maybe at a hard knockdown state would be nice. Maybe from throws. Like that's something, and I don't like to compare them. I don't like to compare it, but I do think throws could give you hard knockdown, and that could be the one thing that gives you hard knockdown, right? Like of all the things, because like as it stands right now, throw is already really strong. I don't know if you know this, but like at the start of a game, 5 throws is a dead character, encouraging strike throw being too strong. And if you throw them against the wall in particular, just the wall, not the stage transition, but the wall, it's 16,000 damage. Plus wall is your assist character hits. It's now 17,000. So each time you throw against the wall, it's 17,000 damage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wait, you can call an assist from the throw if you hit him to the wall?
Remember, when you build into your assist.
Oh, yeah.
And that also gives you advantage because the assist, when they hit them, they gives you the ability to move quicker than you would normally. So it's kind of like a semi-hard knockdown because that's the only advantage. Not to mention you get the extra HP, right? Now, keep in mind, once again, when no one's built into their assist and you do 5 throws with no built-up assist on either side, it's 5 throws to kill somebody. Six on the next one, and then 7 on the last character because you get more HP, right? So what ends up happening here is strike throw becomes even more prevalent. So it's like, did you get hit? Cool, now I'll kill you anyway. Did you get strike thrown? Cool, you're just gonna die anyway. So like the strike throw damage, it's almost like the small combo you would do with your auto combos, the equivalent to the throw. But the bigger combo will double. So think of it as each combo is like double a throw. As the game gets as the game progresses, throw damage is equal to a auto combo. That's the part. And I've been doing a lot of damage checking just to see like what this looks like, and throws need to do less damage. Period. Give it a hard knockdown, do less damage. The extra damage you get from gaining the assist, okay, lower it. The extra 1K is fine. Just lower it. Just lower it. Because I think the average HP in the game, I think it follows the rules of Marvel 3, where like highest HP, like our average HP is like 100K. That's what my assumption. So that'd be like Cap, Iron Man, probably like average HP. But imagine like them dying from 5 throws. Because remember, you don't have access to full HP at that point.
Yeah.
Like at least at the start. So take the throw is really bad in this game. Really bad. Oh yeah, dude, I have been on it. People think I'm just talking out the side of my cheeks. I'm like, bro, I'm looking at everything systematically and from every other fighting game's perspective and how much damage you can get. Like 2x KO, you can't kill anyone with 5 throws. It's not possible. 5?
It takes a bit.
Like imagine jab throw, jab throw. You did no combos, but you won by just throwing someone, and you got your assist, and they didn't get theirs. So imagine playing in a game or playing in the Savage Land, just playing the game and winning off just tick throws. That's insane. That's actually insane. To just win off of just solely tick throws alone, if they can't get their assist. So you just block him to the corner, throw. Let's do it again. Play neutral. Oh, you got hit? Tight. You blocked? Sick. Throw. You still don't have your assist? That sucks to be you. I got all mine. And just keep ping-ponging in this way with the game. Like, this is the aspect of the game. I'm like, this is going to happen. This is going to happen at some point. Someone is going to base their game around this. I guarantee it. Mark my words. Someone's going to... But even if someone doesn't do it this way, the game strike throw is still deadly. Because either way it goes, you're still in a winning position.
That's what I tell people, man. Like the strike throw in that game is good. Is really what that game is. Like there's obviously a lot of like mix ups you can do. You can like do like high low stuff for some characters. Like I know like there's like Doom has like the thing where like he can dash behind people, and there's like setups he has where you can like call like Kamala's dash behind him in the corner, and then a Kamala assist will hit them on the other side while you're on the other side. You can do that. It's like left right stuff, but for the most part, this game at a basic level, it's strike throw really. I guess combined with the dust loop mechanic that they have in there as well with the overhead. But yeah, I believe it. I believe it, man. I believe it. But
sorry, you guys. I have to keep it real. I'm not gonna sugarcoat.
Oh yeah.
I like the game too, but I also can. I fortunately have the ability of foresight and seeing how a game is gonna evolve before we get there. So like, I'm already seeing season 1 ending this way, one way or another, until they change this, which will eventually be lowering damage on throws and lowering the rewards.
Oh yeah. For sure. And that just to close it out, I like I said before, man, like all of this is just to express our thoughts. It's no hate, no nothing.
Oh.
I know that like it gets repetitive to keep saying it, but I think that like I think these days it's so important to tell people that you don't really hate a game or really like dislike it. It's just more that like if a developer asks for feedback and for criticisms, making videos, writing feedback forms, talking online on social media, there's all different ways to do it. And I think that like, while I do enjoy the game myself and, at the base level, and I don't mind what they do with the game, I want to see the game enjoyed by other people. I want to be able to play this game with my homies to be able to enjoy it. So, whatever Arc System Works and Project you can do to make this game enjoyable for other players, which is not really much they got to do. It'd be very nice to experience that. And so with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Kev, you got any closing thoughts, anything you'd like to say? I know you got your
yeah, I'm working on my script.
you working on your script, so for you guys who wants to get a little bit more detail with that, definitely check out his video. He's going to be delving a lot more deeper to his opinions of that nature. And yeah, man.
I would just say, like, trust me when I say, again, like, no matter what, I'm still an Arxis fanboy.
Mm-hmm.
And while I'm going to still buy this game, still support it, and still play it, I think we should still be objective about it before it comes out. No one, at least from my perspective, for me in particular, I don't want to see this fail. This isn't me asking, again, for Marvel vs. Capcom 4. I'm not asking for Dragon Ball FighterZ. I'm not asking for BB Tag 2. I'm asking for Marvel Tokon to be a more open game like it can be. Don't wait for Season 3, because the fall off for this game can be really quick. If people can switch up this fast, imagine what happens when it comes out. And that's not what I want to see for this for this project, because to me, this is a dream come true watching ArcSys make a Marvel game. So I want the best for it, point blank, period.
Same. Absolutely.
So
absolutely, man. And with all that said, thank y'all for watching. Like I said to everybody else on my channel, we'll be doing 2 videos per week. Got another video dropping later on this Friday. So look forward to that. And as always, you guys have a blessed day.